Hey, you guys, welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki, and today I'm bringing opportunities for advertisement on my channel. If anyone is interested, they can email us at naughtylove2020@gmail.com. Our prices are affordable and reasonable, and please reach out to us. We can start our videos with any commercials that you would like us to advertise. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out. One. Good morning, Naughty Crew. Welcome back to my channel, Naughty Love Movement. It's your host, Naughty, or Nikki, whatever you prefer. And I appreciate everyone joining me. Hope everyone's having a beautiful start to their day. I know I am. It's rainy in New Jersey, but it's warm, so I'll take it. Or at least it's not snow. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? Got a great show lined up for you today. But before we get into it, I need for you guys to thumbs up this video. Hit that like button. This is how YouTube knows that we're here. Share my content, whether it be via text message on your different social media platforms. All these things help the channel to grow. And engage with the channel. Leave comments, thumbs down the video, whatever you prefer. Support your girl. Also, donations are definitely appreciated. We accept cash chats, super chats, super stickers. All are welcomed, okay? Even $1. I don't care what it is. Support your girl. All right, so I got a great lineup. Wendy Willams' best friend is speaking out, and also some of the celebrities are speaking out in regards to her situation. A lot of people are heartbroken behind it, but the documentary was definitely a necessary evil because it revealed the conservatorship's hand. All right. And I believe the family will be able to take power back for her. Also, we're going to get into Jam Master Jay. After 20 years, his unaliving has been solved. It be the closest people to you, Naughty Crew, I swear. So I have an update on that. Then we're going to get into Jess Hilarious and the T.S. Madison beef. I'm so over this misogynistic, like T.S. Madison. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. And the way she projects her anger and her patriarchy onto women, she never have that same energy for men. All right. Also, we got a new lawsuit for Chrisean Rock, and I got an update on Portia. So I got a great lineup for you guys today. Make sure you thumbs up this video. I'm gonna drop this intro and I'll be right back. Yes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Toya sis. Good morning, good afternoon, Miss Brenda, all the way from London. I appreciate every last one of you joining. And good morning to my people in the bushes. Okay. I appreciate y'all. for joining me too. Okay, so let's jump into Wendy Williams first. Her best friend is speaking out. She was also in the docu-series, and she sat down with Andrew Cuomo to give her thoughts. And I thought it was interesting. She's been very quiet, but I think she has a lot to say. I really do. Okay. Ooh, that's what I get for adding more stories. It's just so much going on, Naughty Crew. It's just like, where do we begin? Where do we begin? Portia not playing with Simon Chill. She is not playing with him. Oh my God. All right, here we go. Shout out to the Jasmine brand. I kept skipping over it. Yes, please hit that like button. All right. Wendy Williams' best friend Regina calls out Guardian who failed to get Wendy food and other essentials, suggests she's never heard official dementia diagnosis. All right, let me tell you, and I'm glad she called this out because during the documentary, when Wendy's niece Alex was there, the producers asked her if she wanted to check Wendy's fridge, and she was like, I'd rather not. And producers revealed that Wendy did not have any food in her refrigerator. And let me tell you something. We all know Wendy Williams is a foodie, okay? But why is her fridge empty? Why is her refrigerator empty? That's crazy. Not even the basics like eggs, milk, water. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So Regina was in the documentary. Let's hear what she had to say to Andrew Cuomo. Here we go.
Let's talk about what matters most to you. I just got a piece of information that the woman who is currently the appointed guardian has been accused of a scheme to rob a different client. There's a $30 million suit against her.
Exactly. And we talked about this yesterday on a Naughty Love lunchtime rundown. Not only is the Guardian being exposed for having a lawsuit against her for another situation where she trapped someone into a guardianship, the judge is suspicious too. We went over that yesterday. She's got some suspicious activity when it comes to donations and things like that for her in order for her to get elected to office. If you ask me, all of them need to go away. The team that was around her, her handlers, also the guardian and the judge. Good morning, Michelle.
You have said you have concerns about what is going on with this guardianship. How so?
When I was in New York and staying with Wendy in the summer, I noticed when she would call, she had no access to her money. So every time she had to do anything that she had to pay for, she had to go through the guardian. And she would call to order her breakfast at 7:30 in the morning with the guardian, and she would take the order, and the order wouldn't show up until sometimes noon.
Wow, that's important. And another thing she said, she did not have access to cash. Remember in the documentary when Will came in and Wendy had a stack of cash? It was like $15,000. Where did the money come from? Her best friend just said she had to go through the guardian for everything, even to order her breakfast. And the breakfast didn't even show up until lunchtime. Crazy.
And so Wendy wouldn't have any food. And when I went back to LA, I would have to send her food from Los Angeles to New York through delivery service because she the communication wasn't there. and she had no other access to money than this guardian.
They was trying to unalive our girl. They was trying to starve her. Okay, because let me tell you something. If I'm hungry, I get a little delirious, okay? Like, anybody brain will go crazy when you hungry. They straight try to... Oh, my God. Hey, Miss Kaiser, good morning. Thank you for joining.
And so that's what was concerning to me, because she was telling me she didn't have food. And her publicist also, who lives out in LA, both of us were going back and forth sending food to Wendy because she wasn't having access to food.
You know, I was reading in here, Regina, where you were like...
Certainly.
Where you were worried that one of the impacts of this documentary, or whatever you want to call it, is going to be that Wendy won't work again. But do you believe that she'll ever be in control of her? Go ahead, please.
I think that the depiction of this, what I thought was going to be a comeback kid story, seems to be like a demise of Wendy story. And I haven't heard an official diagnosis from a doctor. You know, I've heard from this team that we don't know who the team is, and from Kevin and her nephew, Travis, but no doctor has actually confirmed these diagnoses. So, I mean, maybe I'm in denial because I'm so close to the issue. And I have, in reflection, I see the behaviors that could potentially be such a diagnosis, but I don't want to believe that she is, at this point, unproducible. That's not my opinion.
I'll tell you, when I was with her a few summers ago, I guess now, she was impressively a mess. I felt very badly for her. I talked to her about it directly, and as you might imagine, she had absolutely no appetite for the discussion, but she was putting down a lot of substances. And she then wound up going on break to get herself together. Do you believe that Wendy had figured out how to deal with her behaviors before this diagnosis?
Yes, I think that Wendy has always, I've known Wendy since we were 13 years old. Wendy's always been doing what she wants, when she wants, how she wants, and she's very clever. So she could potentially have been getting away, quote unquote, with a diagnosis potentially like this for a long time.
Let's talk about what matters most to you.
Okay, so, and you know what? The documentary gave me that she was clever. Wendy figured out how to get to LA, okay? Without no credit cards. She knew who to manipulate and use. Good morning, Juby Buggin. All right, so she is, but I still feel like Wendy has that wit about her. And I feel like we could turn this around. She may not be 100% the Wendy Williams we know, because there is some damage there from the years abuse of alcohol, right? So there is some effect there. And I spoke to this too. You know, in the docuseries, they try to point out moments like, you know, she called her brother Kevin. And when they were in LA, she was saying Miami. And then they asked her again. She's like, no, I know I'm in LA. You know, with dementia, you have slips of the mind. But that don't mean she don't have all her scruples. I believe Wendy knows exactly what's going on. And she does know how to play along, to get along. But I do feel like the docuseries revealed some neglect. Let me know in the comments what y'all think, especially considering what I have brought to the forefront lately about the guardian being exposed for exploiting another person in a guardianship. It's nuts. All right. So some stars are speaking out. Like, we had Steve Wilkos speak out. Also, Rick Ross is speaking out, and he spoke to the fact of the importance of having your business in order. All right, especially when you have a lot of money like that. Let's hear what Rick Ross' advice is to Wendy.
The Wendy Williams documentary, first thing became a boss, and I'm challenging all CEOs. You gotta have a trust You got to have a trust. And if you don't know what a trust is, I'm challenging everybody to do your homework. Google it right now. Having a will is one thing. A trust is a total different. You can have your will, create your will, have your will and your trust. Not having a trust, allow those banks to play with that money. If they know your paperwork ain't good, man, they'll hold on to that money in that bank, loan that damn money out, make them some interest on it when your paperwork not right. I watched the Wendy Williams documentary, First Thing Came to Boss, and I'm challenging all CEOs.
And he's right. That's the importance. Like, not only do you need a will, you need a trust to protect your finances. And that's what Wendy didn't have in place. And that's why the banks were able to come in and just take over her money. Now, I heard a point of view yesterday when I was on these YouTube streets. SCW alluded to the fact that Demar Mercury, they're the one that set all these wills in motion. And I believe I believe there's some truth to what he's saying. So, Wendy had stopped showing up for work, but Demar Mercury wanted her to show up. You know what I mean? So Kevin Jr. had brought his mom to Florida to get her well because she wasn't doing well and she was doing good, right? But Demar Mercury wanted Wendy back. They wanted her in that purple chair and to perform. So what they did, I believe, is started the wheels going with the conservatorship because they wanted her back. And so then they got a court ordered for her to come back and basically try to bring charges against Kevin and threatening Kevin Jr., saying he kidnapped his own mom. I believe that's so because Demar Mercury, the only thing they care about is their bottom line. Oh, good point, Juby Buggin. A trust also allows you to give your family property like homes and other assets without having to pay taxes on those assets. Love it. Love it. But this is the importance of having your business in order so that outside forces can't come in and just take over. I mean, this is just sad. This is just so sad. But Fat Joe also spoke out in regards to Wendy. Let's hear what he has to say.
I saw the Wendy Williams special yesterday. Wendy Williams. I had nightmares last night. I watched it. I watched the whole thing. 1, 2, 3. Wendy Williams has said terrible things about me. At one time in my life, she would say whatever she wanted. That's what she did. She invented the the clout talk, where you talked and it was shock jock, and she talked shit about a lot of people, man. And so now we seen this documentary. When we didn't see the documentary, and I talked to different artists about her, pretty much their perception was, yo, it's karma. Because she used to talk about everybody. Real talk. I saw the Wendy Williams, and before she got sick or whatever the case may be, I found a way in my heart, because Jesus forgave, to forgive Wendy Williams and become cool with her. Now, Joe, but you haven't forgiven other. If you never robbed me, if you never stole money, my wife, my arch enemy, I could find a way to forgive you. I will forgive you. And so talk is cheap. So what they talking about and what she used to talk about didn't mean much to me. But there's some people that will take it to the grave. Now, it's one of the saddest things I ever seen. And before she got sick or whatever the case may be, I found a way in my heart, because Jesus forgave, to forgive.
Right. So, Wendy did invent the clout chasing salaciousness of gossip, right? At the end of the day, the same people she talked about, they be the same people in their music talking crap and dragging women as well. So it's just like, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I mean? I don't like that. Oh, saying this is karma. Nobody deserves this. I don't care what happens in your life. Nobody deserves for strangers to come in and rob you. And that's basically what's happening. Morning, Shay B. Y'all let me know. I mean, Fat Joe has been on her show. Diddy has been on her show. Wendy started to right a lot of wrongs she had did in her life. Let's just call it that last year, like right after she divorced Kelvin, she started making amends with people. And she was on like an apology tour. I think the only one that won't ever forgive her is Method Man, because she kind of outed his wife's illness. So that was just like dead wrong or whatever. And that happened in Pillow Talk. Allegedly. It's just all very sad. But you know what? As sad as it is, I think people needed to hear what was going on. I think people need to learn from this. And I think people need to learn, like, especially when you at that high level of making money, you got to protect your assets. It was her career. That's what she was. That's what I always understand. And guess what? I always tuned in for the tea. I was there nonstop. I always tuned in for the tea. So just as bad as people hate it, it was a necessary evil, and she created a whole lane for people like me who like to talk about gossip. Okay. But no way, shape, or form do I think this is her karma. I really feel like Wendy has a lot of unresolved trauma and things like that. And she was on the path to doing well until the courts stepped in, and it was what they wanted for Wendy that became more important, not necessarily what was good for Wendy, because she was doing well when she was with her son. That's right. She had a job to do, just like all of us do. I'm very particular about the topics I talk about and things like that. I just try to aim for it to be lessons in it for all of us. But Wendy invented this hot topic game, so you can't even be mad at her. I'm not mad. But she been talking about Diddy. Like, I'm missing Wendy right now because I really want her to chime in on what's going on with Diddy, which she already has. She's like, a long time ago, I was held to the fire for telling the truth about these artists, okay? I'm just like, whatever, Wendy. I want you back, Wendy. Say some prayers for Wendy. I hope she's getting well. She is now currently in a rehab facility. And I hope she comes out better than ever. Do I think we'll ever get like the original Wendy back? No, I think there's been some damage done there and will be unrealistic to think otherwise. But I do feel like with her personality is still there. And she could still do like a little small podcast in her home, from her home, and talk mess. Hey Kim, good morning. And as you saw in the documentary, she still hang on to them magazines. Wendy love her tabloids. Okay, she old school with it. Before social media, the magazines was our everything. That's how we got the tea and the gossip. All right, and Wendy just found a lane and honed in. I love it. Up next, I want to get into Jam Master Jay. Okay, he was unfortunately unalive 20 years ago, and it went unsolved for a number of years, and they finally got their suspects. And Naughty Crew, let me tell you, it be your own people. Shout out to Gossip in the City, Jam Master Jay, childhood friend Ronald Washington, and Carl Jordan Jr., the DJ's godson, found guilty of his unaliving. A jury has found 2 men accused in the 2002 unaliving of Run DMC star Jam Master Jay at a New York City recording studio guilty of all counts. So today, a federal judge in Brooklyn returned a guilty verdict against Carl Jordan Jr. and Ronald Washington for the October 30th of 2002 unaliving of Jason Mizell, also known as Jam Master Jay, a member of the famed hip-hop group Run DMC. Both defendants were charged with unaliving while engaged in a DRUGS trafficking conspiracy and firearm-related unaliving for the fatal Papowin of Mizell inside the victim's recording studio in Hollis, Queens. The verdict followed a 4-week trial before United States District Judge LaShane DeArtsy Hall. When sentenced, Jordan Washington faced a minimum of 20 years imprisonment and a maximum term of life imprisonment. I think they should get life. Breon Peace, United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, Edward A. Caban, Commissioner of New York. I was just really surprised it was behind drugs. So the attorneys came out and said today's guilty verdict provides proof that the passage of time provides no safe harbor to those who commit N-word. For us in the ATF, our memory is long and our resolve is steadfast. We have no tolerance for those who would take a life, and we are committed to seeing justice done. Exactly. You can run, but you can't hide. I'm just so happy the family can finally have some resolve in this case, because I remember the first episode of Growing Up Hip Hop out in LA. Jam Master Jay's son was on the first episode, and he just had a sense of sadness about him because his dad's situation was still not resolved, So I just really hope the family can find some peace now that the people, the perpetrators, are finally behind bars. I was shocked too. I was shocked too, Michelle, that it was behind that. I was shocked, but it was one of his closest friends, probably grew up with this gentleman and his godson. But greed is a terrible addiction, let me tell you. People will take your life. It's just sad. But I'm just finally glad it's some resolve. Congratulations are in order for Gabby Sidibe, the actress known as Precious. She is now expecting twins. Shout out to the Shade Room. She says, I'm pregnant. We thought it was time to give our cats some responsibilities, so we're giving them each a baby to take care of. Double the babies, double the cats, double the fun. Twin delivery coming soon. So I'm so excited for her. I'm so excited for her. Congratulations. She also acted in Empire. So we haven't seen. Yeah, right? I'm just really, really happy for her. I'm glad it's some good news out here. So I can't wait to see the babies. Here at the Naughty Crew, we will be showing the babies off. Okay. Who we got up next? Okay, let's get into this Jess Hilarious, T.S. Madison, Charlemagne the God situation. It is just. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. Let me tell you something about T.S. Madison. I don't like the way she come for women. I feel like although she wants to be a woman, she weaponizes her masculinity and her patriarchy. And we talked about this on Couture Bay's channel last night. She gives me, hey, Brie. Let's get into this big back. I don't like it. I don't like it, Brie. I don't like it. And I'm trying to choose my words very carefully. So, Charlamagne had made some comments on Tessa the Messa, whatever. The girl that came out with the series of Who the F Did I Marry? Right? And Charlamagne had gave some comments. Hold on. So this first one, we only can hear audio. We're going to get into what Charlamagne said. All right. So he was making commentary about the Who the F Did I Marry chick, right? And he just made a comment like, she just gives me big back behavior. Okay? Let's start there. Here we go.
Is that what she says? That sounded like
I don't see no LOL.
The beginning of it sounded like a joke to me.
Well, is she your friend? Did she call you up and say, I'm just playing?
No, I'm talking about the beginning when she said the big back people. What did she say?
She believes.
All right, no, this is after. But yeah, Charlamagne had made a comment about the What the F Did I Marry? And let me tell you, What the F Did I Marry lady? Charlamagne is not my favorite person. He says some very disparaging things, some things that disturbs me at times. He gives me that he hits for both teams at times. But his commentary was basically as a result of this woman coming out with this live, like she just has big back behavior. All right, so that's the basis of Charlamagne's comment. Well, T.S. Madison decided to double dutch her way into a situation that has nothing to do with her.
I believe she has a big back. She said, hashtag big back people, including me.
Yeah, I thought that was a joke.
Are we caving in his face?
All right, so that was T.S. Madison's response to Charlamagne, like, to all big back people, including me, are we caving his face in? Let me tell you something. Every time she responds, and I hate the way she comes from my girl Brie, because she done told Brie to wrap around the tree. Okay, like she's so violent. She's so violent in tone. It's disgusting. Okay, and so Jess, as you hear, Jess Hilarious is just she's just doing her job.
Yeah, don't do that, T.S. Madison. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, Jess just said it would, if I was to make a tweet about a transgender like that and end it by saying, "Oh, we caving their face in," social media would be calling for my head. Absolutely. So let's play nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's absolutely play nice. But see, that's crazy because that's gonna fly right up under the radar. Because I guess she could say that. That's crazy. I don't understand.
Is that what she says?
She checked in on the rest of the Big Back Brigade to see how she should respond, and she said, hashtag big back people, including me. Y'all letting Charlamagne get away with that, or are we caving his face in? Let me know.
Whoa.
Yep, there was no LOL, there was no emoji, there was no nothing. First of all, why am I even talking to you? How you just include yourself into that? Now, if you were to say that to her, then what would happen?
Seriously, Naughty Crew, what would happen? Because I'm sick of the double standards. I'm sick of her being able to be violent and weaponize her masculinity and throw her peen in women's faces whenever she get good and ready. But this is the representative of the LGBTQ plus that they are selecting to be the face of their community. And quite frankly, I find her behavior disgusting. Big back bitch.
Oh, they be calling for my head on social
media.
What?
I'm talking about social media in the streets.
Yeah.
They'll be calling. You can't come for them, but they allowed to come for us. They allowed to come for our womanhood after all we have fought to, garner equality, equal pay, after all we have fought to be in control of our uteruses, okay, which we still lost the right to that. What gives this big back hoe the right to use her patriarchy and her masculinity as a weapon against real live women. Y'all make it make sense to me. I'm getting heated.
Everywhere.
They ask for you to be canceled, suspended, and all that.
It's like, what are we even talking about?
Well, let the record show. I didn't even know the young lady had a big back. Okay, I just said it sounded like big back behavior, and I know big back belief when I hear it.
Okay.
Okay, that's all.
Well,
I don't know why the big back brigade was upset at me.
Well, I don't know how somebody just include themselves in it. Like
double dutch her ass right into the shit. It ain't had nothing to do with her.
Okay, so T.S. Madison threatens Charlemagne for his big back comment.
Oh my God, no.
Yes, that's what I said.
It's ridiculous. So let's get into this big back hoe response.
Let's talk about that.
She just being extra. Y'all ready? Shout out to Hollywood Alive for catching this, but nobody never checked her.
From two different areas, but we know that I wasn't threatening Charlemagne the God for what?
You said you was going to cave his face in, bitch.
For what?
Curse.
See, the thing about it is, what all the people over there that want to jump on your pussy lips is that they're sitting here because I'm a tranny. They want to sit here and over.
See? Pussy lips. Like, what you is giving, she jealous of my cootie cat. She jealous of our cootie cat, Naughty Crew. She jealous. Yeah, she has a peen. She didn't get the surgery.
Look, the fact that you as a woman who just almost a year ago, if it not was a year ago, was calling for men to protect us. Men to protect us. And then you sitting right next to a nigga who's talking about a woman, bitch, and you jumped in on the bandwagon, help dragging her. Right?
Wait a minute. I just see some hypocrisy. Because you came from a woman that I know. Couture, baby, bitch. You came for a woman. I'm tired of the double standards.
Hey, come on, we ain't even really done, right? Then you sit over here with your small back, right? With your small, tiny back that you have, bitch, and you let Country Wayne play in your face on fucking Shannon Sharp show and tell you to leave him alone. So obviously, bitch, big back holes and small back holes. We're from two different areas, but we know that I wasn't threatening Charlemagne the God for what? For what?
You threatened Bree for what?
See, the thing about it is, what all the people over there that want to jump on your pussy lips is that hoes have some of the same motherfucking problems. See, the thing about it was, you thought that you was going to come into it with a nigga that had 66 baby motherfucking mamas and was going to be wifey, and he showed your ass, and you still running your motherfucking...
Wait a minute. Where your ninja at? Where your ninja at? You know the one that keep you in the basement and make you a secret. Mm-hmm.
Small back ass around here giving that man problems. That man said, leave me alone.
It's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years, bitch. Leave me alone. Get some new material. Leave me alone.
She jealous because Jess can really pull him in. Jess pregnant by a whole nother man, claiming her out loud. He called up to the radio station to claim her and his baby. T.S., you're still a secret. Where's your man? Where your man?
But let's talk about Chris, that was allegedly was fucking them punks in Baltimore, bitch.
Chris is the new baby daddy, and we know this how, T.S. Madison. Where's the proof?
That you was fucking off on, that was fucking them punks in Baltimore, that really initially started your disdain for the girls.
And Burrell energy.
So the streets say, let's talk about that. Let's talk, in the words of Azalea Banks, let's talk about that. And then
I'm going to need her to take that bass out of her voice. Yeah.
You have the audacity to have so much holes, have some of the same motherfucking problems. See, let's talk about that. And then you have the audacity to have so much nigga energy running through your motherfucking chain smoking voice having ass, bitch. So much nigga energy that you got with you, bitch, that you attract niggas that probably fuck punk. And it's okay. That don't make you less of a woman. Hell, you pregnant now.
Telling you, she jealous of her uterus. What the pregnancy got to do with anything? Child.
But my thing is, the pressure that you want with me, you really don't want it with me. The pressure that you got with me, you got with yourself. Miss Hilarious. Every time them niggas was sitting over there calling you a he and all that type of shit to be funny, I cringe because I'm like, she don't look like no he to me. She don't have this. She you know, I'm over here.
The passive aggressive bullshit. Get out of here. Now you want to play on misgendering her.
I be in defense mode with you pussy assholes and y'all hold me over here. You would have really loved for Charlamagne to say that he was going to bash me in my motherfucking face when he saw me. You would have really loved for that. Let's talk.
You was just she was trying to set a trap so that she could trend. Y'all let me know what y'all think, Naughty Crew. I just think she forever mad because she'll never be us, period. She forever mad because she'll always be a secret. She'll always be a secret. I'm going to drop the link. Anybody want to sound off? But this notice, she ain't had that energy for Charlamagne. She tweeted her response. But for Jess Hilarious, she had to do a whole show. Period. Can't stand a big bag hoe. Exactly. Why are they weaponizing? She's a walking double standard to me. Why are they weaponizing? Here, Bree. Child, where's your man? Why are you weaponizing being gay? She definitely tripping. I think she always tripping. Hey, in my opinion, and I'm tired of that big back hoe projecting her masculinity and her patriarchy on women. Pick a side. You want to be accepted as a woman or you want to be a man? And I've heard her say out her mouth, directed towards Couture Bay and Jovi Beauty, suck my big black peen. Okay, and that's keeping it. Yeah. So in a heartbeat, she could use her peen as a hey Brig.
Good morning. Listen, I'm so happy the blogs posted that. And of course, my upload is coming because, baby, what? I don't get it. I have so many questions. And it's not even because she don't like me and I definitely don't like her. It's how come T.S. Madison could weaponize the LGBTQ and then turn around and say the Black community is homophobic? Like, make that make sense for me.
The hypocrisy for me.
And then to add insult to injury, how come T.S. Madison always has smoke for the women and nothing for the men? I don't get it. Charlamagne the God even alluded to, if I would have said something, where was his drag? There's never a drag. And that's my issue with T.S. If T.S. was an equal opportunist, I wouldn't even care. I could see how that could have been taken as a joke. I really could. But T.S. and Craig the writer lacked the vernacular range and intellect to expound on that. Like, 1 minute you want to be an ally, and then two minutes later you want to say, and that's why your nigga like niggas. Like, make it make sense.
Okay.
I just don't get it. And yes, to anybody that watches the replay, this trans woman has said on multiple occasions, for myself and Tasha K to wrap around a tree. I've been called all types of bitches and hoes. I've been told to suck my on multiple occasions. So it's the anti-Black woman for me. And speaking from a place where I used to like T.S. Madison, I was ignorant to the facts too, but I woke up. And when I woke up, it was a problem. So now it's like crazy. And I'm speaking from somebody who supported T.S. Madison. I sent my mama to the shows, bought the merch and everything because I thought T.S. was funny. But now I see just a bitter, triggered, big back wannabe woman.
Yes. Yes.
And like I was telling AT2, they better not have not near trans woman celebrated in our Women's History Month because I'm going to boycott. I'm going to send them that clip every time. Is this womanhood?
This is not womanhood. Stop coming for my uterus. Stop coming for my womb. Stop coming for my man.
I think that energy could have been used towards that man who unalived one of her trans sisters for his girlfriend. That's where that energy could have been used.
Exactly.
But what do I know?
Oh my
I'm
God.
just a small back.
Oh, you just a small back with an arch, baby.
Okay, I'm just a small back, so small back energy.
This is when she speaks, I feel like she has a deep hatred towards women. Anyone who's a natural born woman.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, you can't even get your parents to call you Madison, so I guess that's where it stems from. I don't know. I don't know. But it is what it is. Now for Chrisean, child.
Oh, girl, let me get into child. She got another lawsuit. Here we go. Yes, child. I'm so sick of this chick, this little ghetto hood rat. Ooh. I wish she'd go sit down. So BMF actress Rama Matakahabi slams Chrisean Rock with an assault lawsuit. Yes, she did. She's Iranian American actress. She has a beef to settle with rapper. Is she a rapper? I mean, let's just keep it real. Is she really a rapper?
I mean, she had them 2 rap songs.
I thought she was singing. It's the vibe all the time.
That was okay. Oh, child. You know what?
Maybe the song with Lil Mabu is considered rap. Fuck Blueface, I gotta find you back. Yeah. Or was it Junior? Nah. Anyway, Chrisean Rock, as she recently accused the 23-year-old of assaulting her, according to the legal documents obtained by The Blast, the TV personality best known for starring in the drama series BMF, filed an assault lawsuit at the Superior Court of the state of California on February 21st of 2024. Her accusations include battery and emotional distress, which she claims occurred at last year's BET Awards after party. Wow. So Rama alleges she suffered extreme mental shock from Chrisean Rock. She filed a complaint for several damages allegedly inflicted by the lonely artist. Through her lawyers, she levied 5 severe allegations against Rock and Zeus Network, the platform responsible for we cut it off. But although Rama didn't share the full details of what transpired between them, she stressed the incident was brutal and happened without any provocation. Her recollection, per the document, read, defended Chrisean Rock intentionally, willfully, and maliciously, without provocation and without the consent of plaintiff, struck, attacked, assaulted, battered, and tortured and imprisoned plaintiff. Well, we all know the girl is unhinged. She is unhinged, and it don't take much to set her off.
My thing is this, that is coming out of nowhere. It's giving like, let me put this lady up to do it because I don't know if you noticed, but people haven't been tuning into the baddies and stuff since Chrisean wasn't up there like that. So they love a train wreck, but they like their favorite train wreck. So I don't know. It could be some Diddy Zeus type scenes going on over there. I don't know.
They could be trying to set her up to tear her down. But her lawsuit list include medical, incidental expenses, general damages, loss of earnings capacity due to the attack, her attorney fees, and the cost of processing the lawsuit. She also requested compensation for punitive and exemplary damages and whatever relief the court deems necessary for her case. And you're right, Zeus Network is going down. I reported on this because Lemmy wants nothing more than to change the direction of Zeus Network, and Natalie is not for it. Ooh. She is not for it. She is here for the mess. So shout out to Circus of Blues for dropping this information. But that's why you hear her coming out with desperate videos with her daddy. Okay, so you notice Chrisean tells him she loves him all the time, and he always says, "I appreciate you," which I think is a gaslighting setup. If you ask me, they just trying to keep her in line so that they could drop all these lawsuits on her head, and she can go to jail.
Yeah, so they can get that baby. Yup.
Exactly, and
Found out.
yep, exactly. So I mean, at the end of the day, she a grown woman. And we all have to be accountable for our bad behaviors at the end of the day. There's consequences, and you can't just walk around laying hands on people. It's just not okay.
And that's facts. And before I drop down, Naughty Love, thank you for having me up. Thank you for always bringing this morning inspiration, the morning tea, because it's nothing like tea in the morning, okay?
Exactly.
Especially when I'm headed to work, I'm like, yes, Naughty's live. I can always count on you being live, girl. So
Yes, girl. Make sure y'all go to Couture Bay's channel and subscribe. She's on her path to 10K.
yes. And make sure y'all are subscribing to Naughty Live. She's out here working before she gets on the plantation, baby. That's dedication. All right, and I'm gonna drop down. I can't wait to hear the rest of the topics.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day, Bree. Yes. So, Chrisean, I've been following her for a minute. I'm the one that called her out and said she was on the run. I remember when she first started talking about her warrants and things like that. That was the live when she called herself showing us all the bruises that Blueface put on her body, as though she is not as volatile as him. She is also abusive. Hey, what's going on, Essence? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Okay, so it's still Black History Month, right?
Yeah, I call it Black Future Month. But yeah.
Black Future Month. You did say that, and I've been saying Black Knowledge Month.
Oh, I like that.
I like it. Got to bring to it. Yeah. So I don't want to get too deep into it because I didn't realize it was politically charged, and I don't do politics. But outside of that, it's really messy. Fani Willis. Oh, how do you pronounce her last name? Have you been following that case?
I have been slightly. Let me see. Let me look it up.
Child.
What's going on? Because I know they've been questioning her about.
This
people. It looks like the divorce attorney is due to testify.
He did. He testified yesterday. They are cooked.
Really?
They are. I mean, they probably gonna get debarred. It's that bad. Like they're probably gonna be non-licensed attorneys in the near future, in my opinion. What was I gonna say? Yeah, a lot of people are watching Who Did I Marry, but this is more juicy for me. Like this is giving Tyler Perry.
Yes. Okay, I have the article here. Shout out to CNN. A Georgia lawyer who has been billed as a star witness in an effort to disqualify Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis did not deliver damaging testimony Tuesday on her romantic relationship with prosecutor Nathan Wade. Instead, the lawyer, Terrence Bradley, said he did not recall when asked a number of key questions during a 2-hour hearing in Atlanta. Most notably, he said he did not know when the relationship began and whether it began after Willis hired Wade to spearhead the prosecution of Donald Trump and his allies. Bradley said he was speculating about the timeline. Here's some of the key takeaways from the hearing. Bradley repeatedly said he didn't know when the relationship began between Wade and Willis. And he said, I do not have knowledge of it starting and when it started. Bradley said he was speculating when he told a defense lawyer about the relationship. I was speculating. I didn't have no one told me. I was speculating. He also said things got testy when various defense lawyers had their chance to pressure Bradley. Mr. Bradley's speculation is kind of Weasley lawyer words. Defense attorney Richard Rice at his, you know what? I'm gonna find a video.
Yo, Naughty baby. I watched his testimony, the divorce lawyer. And what is interesting to me is that he's been canoodling per se via text message with the opposing counsel. So there's like this lady, I forget what Merchant. Her last name is Merchant. She's the prosecution for Wade, I would say, but the defense for the other case that I will not be mentioning or discussing. I think she's the defense for that case, but she's prosecuting or like cross-examining the people who are like for Wade or whatever the case may be. And he was texting this lady everything. You'll see it in the videos. I mean, he was just a snitching. Like he done told the lady everything. And he knew that they were like trying to disqualify them for the other trial that I will not be mentioning. So
all right, here we go. Just shout out to the New York Post. Let's see what they have. Come on, where's the mute? Give me the mute. Here we go.
Terrence Bradley, T-E-R-R-E-N-C-E, Bradley, B-R-A-D-L-E-Y.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Mr. Bradley.
Good afternoon.
Good to see you. Sorry, under these circumstances. I'm going to just go straight to where we left off before. Fonnie Willis and Nathan Wade were in a romantic relationship, correct?
Correct.
And it began at the time that they were both municipal court judges, correct?
Objection, Your Honor, based on privilege.
Overruled. Okay, overruled. I do not have knowledge of it starting or when it started.
Terrence, you told me that it started when they were both municipal court judges, though, correct?
That is incorrect.
You never confirmed in writing that it was instead of magistrate court, it was in municipal court when they started dating?
If you're speaking of the text message, you can go to that text message and you can read that text message, and I will explain the text message to you. But you and I did not have a conversation about when it started. You asked a compound question of magistrate court versus, I mean, you said it was magistrate court, municipal, you said magistrate court conference, I'm sorry. And then you asked another question. I said, no, municipal court, nothing else.
I'm referring to a different conversation. I asked you, do you think it started before she hired him?
And I'm going to object. This was covered in the previous hearing where Mr. Bradley said he had no personal knowledge of the exact text that Ms. Merchant is speaking of and actually used in an attempt to refresh his recollection. And he explained exactly what he's explained here before the court. So this is repetitive and unnecessary. So I would object to asked and answered and relevance at this point.
All right, perhaps we'll get there, but I think first Ms. Merchant has the right to draw his attention to the exact, potentially inconsistent statement.
Thank you, Judge. May I approach him?
So overruled.
This is
You may.
the text I gave you.
And for purposes of the record, I believe Ms. Merchant, you tendered, was it the entire text chain as an exhibit?
I only tendered a few of the texts, but I did give the state their courtesy copies last time of the exhibits.
Was this one tendered?
This one was not tendered.
All right.
And I'm happy to tender it.
Well, we'll just take it as it comes. Whatever you
We're
need.
at, I think we're at 39. I will wait to mark it, but I think we're at 39. May I approach Judge?
You may.
I wonder why he was texting her so much. That's what I want to know. What the heck y'all had going on? And who are you? And how y'all meet? Not to spoil it, but next when they meet on Friday, they're making her submit all the texts.
So Terrence, do you remember telling me that it started when she left the DA's office and was a judge in South Fulton?
I see the message there, but I don't recall. I do see that message, but I do not recall.
You don't recall texting this?
I look back at my text messages through that we've had. I see that message, but I do not recall that. No, ma'am.
And when I asked you if you thought it started before she hired him, and you responded absolutely.
Your Honor, I'm going to object as to the source of the information that Mr. Bradley allegedly gathered this from. There's been absolutely no foundation and based.
Well, wait a minute. How do you not know if you text or not? I just don't.
Girl, it was a mess. This man is scared out of his. A lot of people feel like this man is under duress, and like his best bet as safety is to pretend like he don't know nothing, because what happened is that Mr. Wade, Fonnie Willis Bootang, hired him as his divorce attorney, and they would have like, client attorney privilege where he cannot like testify about all his knowledge. But the court found that the privilege is not covered on every aspect, which is why he's on the stand right now. And this is why they're asking him these questions, because he was texting the lady who's cross-examining him, who is on the team to get them disqualified to prosecute the other case. So he was basically I don't know why he would be texting this lady like this. Nobody knows. But the defense team was like, listen, we don't even have all the text between them two from top to bottom. We want to see it. So the judge was like, by Friday, we need all the text. So I want to know what's in it. Were they sending nudes? Was they sexting? Because what kind of relationship you had with this lady?
Exactly. Let's see what else you got.
The arguments at the last hearing that a lot of this is based on gossip, innuendo, assumption, and privileged information. And at this point, Ms. Merchant has not provided a foundation as to how Mr. Bradley would have any information that she keeps referring to.
All right. I think that's... Go ahead, Ms. Merchant.
I didn't ask him about the source of the information. And under Rule 621, I can impeach him with any inconsistent facts. This is an inconsistent fact. I can impeach him with any contrary facts.
Sure. Why would it be a relevant impeachment if he actually has no personal knowledge of this?
If he doesn't.
Sure. So I think you have to lay that foundation then, so that'll be sustained.
Do you remember telling me that it began?
Well, that doesn't address the issue.
No, I'm not. I was just asking if you remember telling me as opposed to the text.
Sure.
Do you remember telling me that it began?
Well, no, then you're going into the substance of it, which we haven't determined whether he actually knows or how he knows.
You told me, in fact, you corrected me when I said magistrate court. You corrected me and said it was municipal court.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Same objection, Your Honor.
This is the exact same issue, right?
Well, I'm asking if he remembers that. He hasn't answered that question yet.
Right, but the relevance of whether he remembers it isn't established until we know how. He
They're trying to get him to admit that he said that statement.
If that makes sense, I guess not.
Sorry, how he knows it? I'm just asking if he told me that.
Right.
So I wasn't asking how he knew that. I wasn't asking the source of that knowledge. I was asking if he told me that.
Sure.
That was it.
But that's the point. It's how he knows it.
Right.
The source of his knowledge, the state would contend, is hearsay because it's gossip and innuendo, which is what was indicated the last hearing.
Well, it may not be hearsay. It may not be gossip. We haven't really gotten there yet. We don't know how he knows what apparently he's telling her. And I think we need to figure that out before we can go any further.
Yes. And if the source of the information is a witness you've testified, then it's not hearsay. So when did the relationship start?
I cannot answer that.
When was your first knowledge of the relationship?
Objection, Your Honor. He's already answered that question multiple times today. He said he had no idea the timeline or when it occurred. That was one of the first questions that Ms. Murphy asked.
I didn't ask when. I asked his first knowledge. He testified he has knowledge that they had a relationship. I asked him when he first got knowledge of that.
Okay, so if the question is, when did you first get knowledge? I think we can start there.
That was the question. Yes.
All right.
Thank you. When did you first get knowledge of their relationship?
I've said over again that I didn't have any personal information where I could personally say when it started. I've said that time and time again. So I don't know when the relationship started.
And that wasn't my question. So my question is, when did you first gain knowledge? I didn't ask the source of the knowledge, didn't ask you to comment on the validity of the knowledge. I asked when you first had knowledge.
We'll get to the how, Mr. Abadi. So I'll note the objection, overrule it. You can answer that.
Just for the record, and I appreciate your honesty. But he said he has no personal knowledge, so it's clear he had to gain the knowledge, not from hearsay.
He could have gained it from his
That's
weight.
speculation.
Well, most of us learn things from hearsay. The question of whether it's admissible, right? And that's what we got to get to. So.
I apologize.
When did you first get knowledge? I'm not qualifying what type of knowledge. I'm just asking when you first knew about the relationship.
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, so I can't give you a date if you're asking for a date. If you're asking me, how did I get the knowledge? It would have come directly
When
from
did
a
you get the
client.
knowledge?
So help me understand.
I think you say you can't answer that question. You don't know the date. So that's the answer to the question.
But I said that 5 minutes ago.
We have to make it clear.
Yes, sir.
Next.
Oh
Drinking coffee every day didn't work for me, but I couldn't figure.
Naughty girl, I should not be living my life like it's golden watching this right now, but I am.
Exactly.
This is the best TV I've seen in
Who
months.
is this?
That's him.
That's him too. Why he
He
look
is-
so different?
They got him. They got him. Eventually, they got him because they did. Because
key witness in the hearing on whether to disqualify
This was a
Fulton
hot mess.
County DA Fonnie Willis in the Trump election interference case under intense questioning.
Do you recall any other thing at this point in time under oath that would indicate when the relationship started between Mr. Wade and Miss Willis?
I do not know when the relationship started between Mr. Wade and Miss Willis. I cannot recall that.
Terrence Bradley, the former law partner of Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, repeatedly asked when Wade's relationship with Willis began. At one point, he was asked about a text message where he said the relationship began before Willis hired Wade.
I was speculating.
Why would you speculate when she was asking you a direct question about when the relationship started?
I have no answer for that.
Except for the fact that you do, in fact, know when it started, and you don't want to testify to that in court.
It was 2 weeks ago that Willis defiantly took the stand and lashed out at defense attorneys trying to remove her from the case.
You and Mr. Wade met in October 2019 at a conference?
That is correct. I
I
think
didn't
in one
see
of your motions, you tried to implicate I slept with him at that conference, which I find to be extremely offensive.
In testimony, Willis saying the relationship began after she had appointed Wade to the special prosecutor position.
I'm asking you whether or not prior to November 1st of 2021, there was a romantic relationship with Mr. Wade. That's very simple. It's either a yes or a no.
I don't consider my relationship with him to be romantic before that.
But the Trump team alleges phone records of Wade's that they presented last week allegedly show that prior to November of 2021, on multiple occasions, Wade arrived late at night and stayed into the early morning hours. Wade was also asked in court how often he visited Willis at her home before his appointment.
Do you think prior to November 1st of 2021, you were at the condo more than 10 times?
No, sir.
So it'd be less than 10 times?
Yes, sir.
So if phone records were to reflect that you were making phone calls from the same location as the condo before November 1st of 2021, and it was on multiple occasions, the phone records would be wrong?
If phone records reflected that, yes, sir.
They'd be wrong.
They'd be wrong.
But Trump's team says analysis of that cell phone data from Wade's phone
Not
allegedly
35
demonstrates
visits.
that he visited Willis at her home at least 35 times in the months before his appointment and in the weeks immediately after. Willis responded by asking the judge to exclude the phone records, saying in a statement, quote, "The records do nothing more than demonstrate that Special Prosecutor Wade's telephone was located somewhere within a densely populated multiple-mile radius where various residences, restaurants, bars, nightclubs, and other businesses are located."
I know that's right.
Vaughn Hilliard joins us now in studio. Vaughn, first things first, those phone records you just talked about in the report, has the judge decided or ruled on whether he's going to admit that as evidence?
No, not at this point in time. We're waiting for the judge's decision. And Fonnie Willis, the district attorney, aggressively pushed back, saying that, number one, that the phone messages and the contents of them are not even known. So you can only apply so much from the exchanging of messages and phone calls. And the fact that she was also responding, as she said, to crime scenes in those areas at the time. So again, you can't take too much from from that. Of course, the defendants argue otherwise.
Yeah, that she's used cell phone records in the prosecution of drug dealers. But at issue here, essentially, is if the judge believes DA Fani Willis, Nathan Wade, and now this new key witness, the former divorce attorney you just showed us, it has huge implications, right? This is a historical case, as we said here on Top Story. Do we know when the judge is going to rule?
No, we don't. And so that's a big if. And with every passing day, it makes it all the more likely that the actual criminal trial for Donald Trump and those other defendants over overturning the
Trying to steal the election.
2020 election is not going to go to trial before the 2024 election. And so for, Fani Willis, if she is disqualified, that could put the entire case in jeopardy, let alone it makes it all the more likely that that trial wouldn't begin until 2025, if not later.
Vaughn Hilliard for us tonight. Vaughn, always great to have you on the show.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top.
So, and if that means it goes to the trial goes to 2025, won't Trump have some type of protection if he is elected back in office?
I'm not sure because I don't follow politics. I don't even know the rules
I believe
for the
he'll get
president.
some type of protection from the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
This is nice. Oh my God, that's juicy.
Yeah, girl, they pulled a Cardi B. How she did Tasha K with the trust funds. They done pulled the freaking Cardi B. That's what I call it. They done found a way to make it seem like they committed fraudulent activity, which it looked like they did, in my opinion.
I'm just saying, I saw when she was testifying about the funds and they called her father and everything. I think that's where they're going to get her, the misuse of funds, more than anything.
Oh, for sure. Because you know what came out in the Mr. Wade's testimony is that even though he used the money for them to go on escapades, she paid him back, and there's no record of her paying him back because she paid it back in cash, and he may or may not have stashed said cash, and there's no record of her paying him back. So it's like she reimbursed him, so technically they didn't misuse the funds, but there's no evidence of her reimbursing him. But why would you go on multiple trips around the United States? They went to Miami, I think. They went on a few trips together. And it's like, why y'all wasn't doing that before? But they like, oh, we wasn't dating like before. So it's just a mess, and it's all about what can be proven. But what is really bad is the text messages between his divorce attorney, because he divorced his wife one day after he got hired by Fani.
It's crazy. Let me see what some of these comments are saying. So, in my opinion, she says, I don't believe anything that comes from Trump or his team. In my opinion, feels like he will be impeached. Michelle GM says this was all a part of a plan to delay his trial. James believes that 12:43 a.m. and 4:55 a.m. are smash hours. Absolutely. Those are creeping hours. Swirl Game says, well, Hunty, they better dig up them receipts. Miami Cruise believes.
Oh, yeah, that's what they was doing. Yeah, they went to celebrate, girl. Not you paid him more than $500,000. And then directly after, y'all went on a cruise. Y'all went all around y'all went to Belize, and you divorcing your wife the day after, and like it I don't know. And the only reason they know really is because his divorce attorney snitched.
Exactly. In my opinion, says Article 2, Section 4, the president, vice president, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high. So he could still get removed from office even if the trial moves forward in 2025. Okay, Shay B. She said, right at James, Fanny be serving some Fanny. Okay. It's definitely a bad look. It's definitely a bad look for them to misappropriate funds. And quite frankly, I feel like the timeline is this very close together. And it's just very...
That's suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
There's a lot of gray area there. Like when it comes to his divorce and his relationship with Fanny, it's not a clear line. I believe they were sleeping together while he was married.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, is that and the reason they were able to kind of like cross-examine the way that they were is because they have like the notes from his divorce proceedings, like you know how you would say like kind of like what happened, they would say like what happened, things of that nature. They were able to pull some of the stuff that he said in his, I guess would be a deposition during his divorce, and compare it to what he testified to on the stand, and they didn't match, and that's perjury.
His divorce documents show it all, and that's just the importance of, like, before you go digging up somebody else's skeletons, i.e. Larry Reed in the TDJ case, you better make sure your hands are clean, and especially when you're dealing with somebody like Trump, who has a lot of money to hire investigators to tear you down, basically. And I just really feel like Fanny shot herself in the foot with this one.
Yeah, and another thing too, in my personal opinion, that could be an issue because they're attorneys, and it's unethical, is nepotism. Because although he is a licensed and working attorney, to try such a case as that, which would be prosecution, he doesn't have like the work history that would basically make him the most qualifying attorney. And I know a lot of people like, oh, he was like his third choice. The problem with that is the Atlanta district attorney's office is full of highly educated, trained professional attorneys that would have made a great team for this case. But yet she chose somebody who was less qualified than almost everybody else to be, the lead prosecution, and then paid him over $500,000. And it comes out that he was her lover. So that's nepotism, and that's definitely not okay.
I mean, that's a conflict of interest, if you ask me. And then it sounds like Fanny was thinking with her punani, okay, instead of her head. All right. And for her to choose him over all the other qualified attorneys, she set herself up for the downfall.
I don't know what she was thinking. They probably needed the money.
You led them right to you. You led them right to you by making this decision.
And I feel like what's really heartbreaking about all of this is that I feel like maybe besides here, I haven't been able to have like a neutral, peaceful, open dialogue. And I understand like this is why I don't do politics, because it gets very personal, and people have their feelings. But outside of that, if you just look at what she did, what he did, and the nature of her hiring him, and all the evidence, like, it's wrong, it's misconduct, and it's hard to like have that open discussion because it's like nobody really cares.
But now your integrity is on the line, and now they're going to look at all your other cases to see if there's any misconduct going on. All right, and I mean, you got the whole RICO case against Young Thug.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I think, well, it's been said by some legal professionals that their licenses can definitely be on the line for this, because the divorce attorney, the one who you just watched, he snitched on his client, so nobody's gonna hire him. His license is on the line. Fonnie Willis, she committed, in my opinion, nepotism, and she also she paid what he asked for, but they used it to go on trips, which is like not allowed. And then Mr. Wade is probably like the only person who could possibly get away with, public shame, I guess, because technically he could be like, look, I did everything the way they supposed to be done. I applied for the job. I went on the interview. I got hired. The thing is, he's the one who was paying for all those trips with the money. So I don't know.
Exactly. Well, speaking of divorce, I have an update on Portia. She's not playing with Simon, okay? Shout out to the neighborhood talk. Portia said, "Try me, Simon, try me." So Portia Williams warned Simon not to alter or destroy his financial documents amid the divorce proceedings, and she'll have him sanctioned. So Portia Williams is not playing when it comes to Simon Guobadia and this divorce. According to page 6, she is warning Simon in court documents not to alter any of his financial records while they are divorcing, considering the fact that Simon is a documented scammer who's been running schemes since Portia was in diapers. This warning seems fair. Per the reports, she demands Simon maintain spare financial records and statements, all income records, all tax records, all expense records, all recording or evidence reflecting relevant conduct by either party or risk facing sanction. We previously reported that Portia wanted to honor their prenup agreement. So she did have a prenup for my naughty crew who was wondering, which protects the assets they acquired before marrying. However, we're unsure what that means for the money Simon may have earned while being married and vice versa. She noted in court documents that their marriage is irretrievably broken. Her attorney, Randall Kessler, also added that the reality star is hopeful that she and Guobadia will reach an agreement settling all issues between them. Simons was previously deported for marriage fraud, identity fraud, credit card fraud, and more. So let's hope his name is really Simon. For all we know, Portia could be divorcing Abimbola Guobadia. Oh my God, they so stupid. But you know what? I was glad to hear about this update that Portia was smart enough to protect herself and her assets. Have to. Look at what that woman went through when and Who the Hell Did I Marry? That whole series. You gotta protect yourself.
Yeah, no
And then
doubt.
got married so fast.
I wonder what is the reason for their divorce. Does anyone know?
I saw reports that he possibly was dipping in Portia's money. And then the fact that he was recently denied American citizenship, I think has a lot to do with it because she has an American daughter. I don't see Portia taking her daughter and going to move to Africa.
So wait. Oh wow. Yeah, no. I think that now. I mean, she already signed a contract, so they cannot say she can't be on the show. But I'm really over housewives being a part of a national broadcasted reality TV show in the midst of court proceedings, and they're not able to talk about it. So the whole season is the other cast speculating, and then the main cast member who's in the middle of the proceeding saying, "I can't talk about it. I just can't. Like I can't. Like I can't. I will not be watching. I can't sit through another season of. I just can't talk about it. I can't. It's an ongoing. Like I can't do it. I'm sorry."
Well, shout out to the Jasmine brand. Andy Cohen has spoken up. He said he was taken aback by Portia Williams' divorce and said it wasn't a planned storyline ahead of her Roa return. This was supposed to be Portia's happily ever after. So he quoted, "None of us knew any of this was on the horizon. This was really meant to be Portia's happily ever after kind of victory lap season." So he says, so it's just, I was so surprised and taken aback. And listen, we wanted Portia on the show for Portia. So
I didn't. She
and he
didn't
said,
give.
well, I mean, this is the result of her stealing that girl husband. Okay, you need to give people time to heal. Okay, in between relationships, and I think that's you. You end your relationship before it started, by moving fast like that. But Andy says we would take Portia married, single, picking up the pieces of her life on high, on low, however she wants. She know however she's gonna be. But we didn't know. And this is a really big right turn from the story that I think all of us thought we would be telling. So sending love to Portia. At the end of the day, Portia about protecting her bag, honey, the way Fanny should have.
I'm over it. I'm over it. I feel like on Girls Trip, it wasn't given much. It gave like, I'm happy to see you, girl. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just. And then when I heard about the alleged cast, I'm like, oh, definitely not. Like I can't. Why would
I
Drew
haven't
be?
decided if I was going to tune in or not. I do think Portia is very entertaining. And I don't know. We'll see. I want, I'm here to see her pick up the pieces. We seen her do it once after Cordell.
Right. And you know what? That's true, Naughty, because I feel like we would know if the pain and the process is genuine by the way she has to, like, like put everything together as far as like moving back home if she's not already back home. Because if we look at like RHOP, for example, we have Ashley, who allegedly is getting divorced. We have a lot of different other divorces to kind of like compare and contrast to on reality TV. And we'll know if something is like fishy.
Exactly. So I'm here to see the aftermath of it all, and to get Portia's thoughts in her own words. She has posted recently. Thank you all for the support. But this is we talked about this on Kim Delivers channel last night. She had a good panel last night. She went, through that story. Who did I marry or whatever? But the importance of doing your homework on your partners before you get so deeply invested, and the importance of taking your time, because everyone shows up with their representative at first. You got to give time to peel back the layers. But most importantly, protect your asset. Don't be so quick to commingle funds with people you don't know.
With people you don't know. And also, one thing I've learned in my personal life is if you're gonna date the ex of somebody you know, or even have a like an association with, you need to ask that person about them.
And don't be afraid to do background checks.
Yeah.
And see me, I'm not big on I'm not big on empty promises. You could tell me the world, right? Okay, because I can't stand a dude that be like, oh, I'm gonna get you this, I'm gonna get you that. Action is everything to me. So you can say what you want, but it's if you could put the action behind it, that's what means everything. All right. So I'm a real big fan of a man that just does and doesn't say. You understand? You just do it, because that's what a man does when he is in love with a woman. All right. So I mean, cautionary tales. But I'm just really glad Portia she has wisened up. And I think from her first marriage to now, Portia said, I'm never gonna be put out on the streets again. I'm gonna always protect myself. And Portia went on after that first marriage to buy her a home. Then she got with the hot dog man, had a baby. He ended up being a cheat, and Portia said, nope, nope. So then she stole Simon, girl. But even though she stole Simon, she was smart enough to protect her assets. So in that aspect, I'm glad she was thinking with her head and not with her heart.
Yeah. And I want to know, I would love to hear more about Simon and Fallon's relationship. What kinds of red flags, if any, did she see? Because you don't just unravel like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I think Simon was a true African. I think he had concubines everywhere. And as a result of that, Fallon started running around on him too. So, I mean, fair exchange is no robbery. If you want loyalty, you gotta exude that behavior. You understand? Yeah, if you want monogamy, you have to exude that behavior.
That private jet lawsuit is very telling. But my question is, was he always like a scammy broke boy, even back to Fallon? This is what I'm saying. So
he's been married a few times, and he is still not yet an American citizen. What does that tell you? He's been married to American women, but still can't secure citizenship. I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and close the show. Essence, what are your closing thoughts? I'll keep my eye on Fanny.
My closing thoughts is that Chrisean is in a bad space right now. Yeah, she's a fugitive. She has a warrant. They want her back in, I think, Oklahoma. Is it Oklahoma? I'm not sure. They want her back over there. They feel like she's been living her best life in California, violating her probation. Allegedly she has like a 4-year probation stint, and they coming to collect. I think the timing is very strange. I think she must be falling down off her high horse, because they could have been snatched her up. She worked on Zeus for how many years? She's been fighting and all kinds of stuff. Like, y'all didn't want to come collect her then, but y'all want to come collect her now. I think it's weird. I definitely feel like the baby is not safe with anybody, anyone, period, on either side. They've all been in the limelight, from Blueface side to Chrisean side. All her family, all his family is in the limelight. Nobody has, in my opinion, morals or ethics. And I pray that that baby stays safe and nothing and no harm comes to that baby. Lastly, when it comes to Portia, I'm really not here for her being on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna pretend like, she's covered under, like, this is an ongoing case. I can't talk about it. It's giving RHOP already, and it hasn't even started. And I'm over it. And yeah, I think this is a sad day for the Black legal community, because a few Black lawyers are going to be losing their licenses, in my opinion.
Exactly. And I mean, overall, I'm really happy that the Jam Master case has been solved. And they caught the perpetrators, and they're going to do their time. I want to say prayers for Wendy. I'm here for the conservatorship being exposed,
Oh,
and
yes.
yeah, I'm hoping that this will free Wendy.
Yes.
Leave it in the chat, Naughty Crew. Thank you all for joining me. Hashtag free Wendy Willams. Okay, let's get her back to a healthy place so that she can get back to us. Even if she's doing small commentary from her kitchen, I don't care. Wendy is very witty, and I missed her. I miss Wendy's opinion out here in these streets. All right, especially in the wake of the downfall of Diddy. I need for Wendy to chime in, honey. All right, Madison.
Okay, girl, I will be too.
I gotta log into the
Okay.
plantation, child. I appreciate you joining and blessing the panel. You have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too. Have a good.
Thank you. All right, Naughty Crew. That's all I have. Let's leave it in the comments. All right, let me know what you think about the trending topics that we discussed. We got into Wendy and the conservatorship. Her best friend is speaking out. We got into Jam Master Jay and his unaliving finally being solved. We got into Jess Hilarious and T.S. Madison coming for our small back women. All right, and we got into a new lawsuit that has come against Chrisean Rock. We also got into Fannie Willams here at the Naughty Love Movement. You never know what topics we going to get into, honey, but we on top of the tea. All right, and as you move through your day, Naughty Crew, make sure you
ever in life, I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business.
Make sure you stand on business, 10 toes down, and make sure you don't get swallowed up by the evils of the world. Don't get.
You ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up.
Don't get swallowed up, Naughty Crew. Make sure you use your logical mind. And to all my haters.
And I want to say thank you in case I don't thank you enough.
I thank y'all too. Y'all keep the wheels turning over here. So make sure y'all thumbs up this video. If I have time today, I'll come back for another lunchtime rundown. Until next time, Naughty Crew, I'm out. One.